Okay, so let's take a look at how you can create Azure Data Factory data flow, right? So you'll start from creating a data factory all the way to going to this particular data flow point, right? So make sure to log into your Azure portal. I assume that you have at least free trial or pay as you go subscription active so that you can execute what is explained here. Right now, coming to the point, let's go and click services, right? And here you can see that we have option for databases, and within databases we will find data factories. Currently I have one data factory already active, so what I will do is I will click on create to just show you the demonstration of how to create that data factory. Now we will select subscription, then we will select resource group, right? These two things are must. You will have to choose between available subscriptions. If you are well past free trial, then you will have to create this particular pay as you go model, right? Next is choosing your instance name. So I will just type something randomly so that it will allow me to select the name. Now here region, I can pick any region or the region close to me, so the cost will be based on that. There is also version selection, so choose the most recent version, then go to git configuration. Here you can manually set it here or you can set it later. You can choose between DevOps or GitHub. Currently there isn't any Bitbucket or GitLab option. Now we move to networking part. Here you can manage virtual network, also connect to public and private endpoint. Then we click advanced. Now here by default you can see we have enabled the encryption, right? And this is Microsoft base encryption already enabled, but if you want to set the customer managed key, you can do so as well, right? Then comes tags. You can sort and filter and organize your resource for a data factory based on tags. Then finally we choose review and create, and then in create it will form a data factory. So if we check the data factory here, I already have one created for myself, so I will just click on that, right? So now here you see we have Azure data studio, data factory studio, right? So this particular instance of studio will only open in Chrome and Edge. So I'm not sure about Firefox and Opera, but make sure to have at least these two, Edge or Chrome, so that there isn't any issue with compatibility and running this studio. So to open it, simply click launch studio. It will load, and if the browser is not compatible it will even warn you as such, but considering we are in Edge, we can easily see that we have everything available for us. Now here our goal is to create a data flow, right? So to create a data flow, what we can do is we can click on author tab, right? So before we go there, we will just run through what we have here. So within data factory, this is the data studio that you have. You have option to ingest, orchestrate, transform, and finally configure your server integration service, right? So ingest option is basically allowing you to connect to multiple data sources and fetch the data. Orchestrate, where you build your pipelines, then transform, the final output you wish to use for your data within data flow will be within this step. Then comes configure SSIS for running your SSIS packages in the cloud. So that's one of the things that you can do. Then finally we will move to the options in sidebar. So you have author option, monitor, manage these three options. So let's assume that you have this monitor option. Within that, you can see already have one pipeline ran, right? I can check that when it was run and it was successful as well. I can export its data to CSV, right? So this was regarding monitoring part. Then manage, where you can do variety of management task for the linked services. As you can see, the blob storage is the link service for me. Then comes the author tab. This is where we are going to create the data flow. So to do that, what I will do is I will click plus icon, then click pipeline, then click template gallery, and between template gallery, or you can directly create your flow as well. So here what we can do is we can filter out certain areas. So let's take a look at what to filter. So let's take a look at categories, choose data flow, leave it, and it will sort things out, right? So here let's say I want to choose data flow, so I will just see if it's available here, right? So here you see fix with data flow is one option, and there are other options. So we can simply click on this example and click continue. Let's take a look at another option that we have, right? So we can cancel this one and click on this plus sign, then we choose data flow. This is another option where you can create data flow. Now here you see you have option to add your source. Now as you can see, we added the source and it will immediately tell you that it is source 1, it is data set. Then I will have to select the data set. If there isn't, I can click on new. Now comes the part where I have to connect with existing data source. So let's say like blob storage I already have. I will continue. Then we have like CSV text, so Excel or CSV file, continue. Then we can select link service, we pick the file path, choose the folder, then pick the file, click OK, and everything is taken care of, right? Then click OK, right? And we are here within our source, right? Now once we accept all the source related info, we are good to go. Alternatively, we can also check source related options, projections, optimize, and inspect. So we managed to pretty much connect to the source for our data flow. Here you can see we have some data sets available based on source. Then data flow will be listed here. We can click that, it says data flow 1, right? So pretty much we are done with showing you how to go to the point where you can create the data flow. At the top there is option to discard all changes and everything will be back to normal. Here you also see the pipeline. I can also add, remove, clone this for my data flow. So we can delete this for now and it will be deleted. Next thing, I can also remove the data set once used. Do note that everything that you use will eventually cost you, so make sure to pay attention to things that you store on cloud, especially if you are learning, testing, and you are going through the option for your variety of cloud needs, right? So here you have like everything set for yourself, right? So we learned how to create a data flow in Azure Data Factory.